A one and a two and a chick-a-boom a chick.
Hey Remodelers, before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our friends at Builder Funnel. I've personally known Spencer and his team for over a decade, and they are the marketing agency that helps remodelers generate more leads, book more projects, and grow revenue. Listen to these numbers. They've recently generated over $78 million of projects, of paying projects for their clients, including $4 million for a San Antonio remodeler, helped scale a Delaware remodeler to $9.8 million, and generated $2.3 million for a Kansas City remodeler. If you're tired of relying on the inconsistency of referrals and want a system that brings in predictable, high-quality leads, Builder Funnel can help. Head over to builderfunnel.com/ROTR to learn more. Builderfunnel.com/ROTR. Welcome to the Remodelers on the Rise show. I have the founder, owner, chief bottle washer, and everything else of Proven Kitchen and Bath Studio. They are in Dexter, Michigan. Cassandra Provenzola. Did I nail that even pronunciation of the last name?
You nailed our last name as Provenzola, and we are proven.
But I said Proven, didn't I?
Little connection there with the last name that a lot of people don't pick up on, but
yeah,
I'm glad you did.
Thanks a lot for making that difficult. I'm like, Provenzola, I know that's how you pronounce her last name. So obviously It's Proven Kitchen and Bath Studio, but it's Proven Kitchen and Bath Studio.
Yep. We made a little fun pun.
A fun pun. And you know what? We need more fun puns in our life. We got our son, Calvin, teenager, a pun of the day calendar where you like rip off one of those little pieces of paper. And it's every night when I say goodnight to him, right when I'm leaving, I get to read the pun of the day. And that's how we end the day. And then I say, love you, buddy. And he goes, because he's a teenager.
Yeah, of course. Just friends.
Back in the day, he used to go, love you too, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
He still loves me.
The sweetness leaves a little bit.
Yes.
At least he's a boy.
Yes.
I think teen girls are a little bit trickier.
Yeah, we have a couple of those too.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Cassandra and I go way back before I started Remodelers on the Rise. First, it was called Remodel Your Marketing way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And before that even, I worked for a kitchen and bath and plumbing and HVAC company in beautiful Northville, Michigan called Long Kitchen and Bath Design. And Cassandra was working there as a designer when I was there. She was working there when I was kind of weaning off of Longs and starting my own thing and working part-time there. And then she was there also after that. Tell the people when I was young how brilliant I was and smart.
You were so brilliant, so fun, so many spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And so much data and just brilliance, Kyle, just brilliance.
I like that. I like that you remember the spreadsheet side of things.
I do remember those spreadsheets.
Very, very good. So it was a number of years ago, you kind of left employment and started your own thing. Tell us why you kind of said, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing, and give us a little summary of how that business ownership thing has treated you. And let me pause one other thing. Cassandra had replied to a post I made in Remodelers community saying, would anybody like to be a guest / let's kind of make it a little bit of a story of who you are and a little bit of a coaching call. So we're going to do almost a live coaching call as we also tell a little bit about her story.
I love that.
Cool.
So I think with any entrepreneur, truly, when you start to really master your craft, and for me, it was design. And then I moved into more of a management role with the company that we started at. And you start kind of doing it all. You think to yourself, I could do it all, right? There's that notion that's out there. And for some people, that little bug in your head, doesn't come to the surface. And then for some it does. And for me, it did. And I had clients that I had been working with and very successfully working with. And they were independent of my full-time job. So I was working a part-time job for myself and then a full-time job for the company that we shared. And at one point it got to be very stressful. I had a lot of referral basis for my own company that I had begun. That was really just a part-time gig to kind of help pay for kids' sports realistically, because
Mm.
those are expensive, and had to make the decision like, do I do this full time for myself? Do I have enough clients to do this? Do I leave a company that I've been with for a very long time? Very stressful, strenuous, contemplative decision, and just pulled the plug on that and decided to take the leap and never looked back except for in the very dark hours of the evening now when I'm working my fingers to the grind. I'm like, did I ever make the right choice? I think so. I think so, so
Mm.
that's kind of where we landed. And I started Proven in Dexter, which has been, like I always describe, a hug of a community.
It
Before I
is a
even
hug.
had it is, the doors weren't even open and people were coming in and smiling and saying what's happening and getting to know us, and it just felt like the right place. And um didn't honestly hear the statistics on new businesses and how easily they are to fail until I
Mm.
was 4.5 years in and past that hump. So I think it was half naive, half just go for it,
Welcome to
and
entrepreneurship right there.
here
It's a
we
good
are.
summary.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So share a few things. We'll start with just some things that you've done that you look back on and go, man, those are some things that, while it may not have clicked right away, are things that I've done that have proven. See what I did there? Some might say
Mhm.
even proven to be effective and helpful and kind of getting this thing moving and getting revenue up and whatnot. You kind of look back and go, a few things that I've done well would be bump, 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 bump. And then I want to talk about kind of how things are going right now and dig into a few areas of challenge.
Sure. So that naiveness of just going for it was a funny little start to our dream. My first store was just me. My husband would come from work and watch the store while I would go to clients' homes and do measures and kind of all the things that I had to do. And we were open, truly 7 days a week. Um, Immediately that burnout hit hard of fully staffing the store just ourselves. So the first thing that we did that I thought was very successful is we just kind of scaled the hours back, took Sundays and Mondays for ourselves, still have Sundays and Mondays for ourselves,
Good.
and the store's closed. So needed that balance. We had little kids at the time. I mean, my son was, under 4, and he kind of barked at all the all the people that he thought he was like the greeting dog for a while. So I think people either found us very endearing or very chaotic.
Mhm. Like
I
all
think
good marketing, it either attracts the ideal client and repels the negative. Your son's networking skills of barking at people either attracted or repelled.
yeah, we'd say, we hope you're a dog lover when people came in. So
Yes.
there was a little bit of that. He's bigger now, and they behave very well when they're here, and they're very helpful and unboxing new inventory and doing
Sh-
kind of the things.
Shout out to my daughter Piper, a 17 going on 18-year-old who has developed in the last few months the approach of burping
Mm,
followed by saying bark. It's become a thing in our
talented,
house. I don't know
talented.
what happened to my sweet, sweet little girl, but she thinks it's funny and her siblings laugh. So my 17, almost 18-year-old also barks.
Well, it's for all.
Yes.
That's what we can say. It's for all.
So Sundays and Mondays, you started protecting that time a little bit.
We did. And I think that's been very helpful. I hired, an accounting team kind of right away. So, kind of acknowledging that I couldn't do everything that I thought I could do right away. I thought, no, sure, I could design and build and manage projects and handle clients
Mm.
and do my accounting and hire new staff. You can't do it all. And you learn those little failures kind of humbly right at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, you know, and then working through all of those scary things, like hiring your first employee and making sure that you knew that you were going to be able to provide for them because that's now your responsibility. And I take that still very seriously today with everybody that we hire and making sure that we're in a good place and making sure that we're facing all our challenges kind of head on and hiring well. So those little things you don't have figured out when you decide to jump in feet first to a new business. But I think those decisions that we did early have supported us now. And the biggest thing that we focus on and work on now is how to strive to be the best and not just customer service, but in our relationships with our teams and our relationships with our people here in the field and our vendors, and how do we be the best and what
Excellent.
do we need to do to level up, right? Every day we're trying to level up and be the best so
Yeah.
that we can give that to our people.
So tell me, wonderful. Those were some nice tidbits, some good reminders in there, a little bit of understanding kind of where you've been. Now, let's talk about what are some of the biggest challenges? What are some of the biggest challenges? So give me one of the challenges that you're facing right now that's got your attention that you need to work on. What's kind of the first thing that comes to mind for that?
Um, Personal challenges is the biggest one that I have on the horizon. It's really fresh in my mind because it's January. We're setting new goals. We're trying to get our goals accomplished. I live a very unbalanced life, so it is very difficult for me to carve out time for my family. And right now, I've set this goal of just trying to get all of our family vacations and taking family vacations scheduled and organized and put on our calendar. So I'm trying to hit that by the end of this month, so that I can live a little bit more balance.
Do you,
I am a consistent
do
doer.
you want to live more balanced?
I like the idea of that. I do. I have a hard time shutting my brain off. I have a hard time uh not doing. So those are some challenges that I work all the time on. But I do want to spend more time at home and quality time, not just rushing home at 8:30 to help with homework and then getting everybody to bed just to do it again. Those are
Mm-hmm.
day-to-day things, and spending some special time and making some time for my partner, my husband, who is a heck of a good dude. So he has supported this crazy vision this whole time, and it's been incredible to see him grow with me and us grow in our marriage, but very challenging. I still find the balance avenue exceptionally difficult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
work on that, and I'll continue to work on
So
it.
I like that in 2026 you're going, okay, one way to do this, let's carve out the calendar right now. There's some
Hmm.
wisdom in just going in there, and if I've already taken that week off during the summer, if I've already grabbed that Thursday and Friday off in September, if I've already grabbed that long weekend that your husband and you are going to get away, at the end of March, there's a
Hmm.
much stronger chance that actually happens. Which
Yep. And
if
buy
you're
the tickets. Buy the tickets.
Ooh, buy the tickets, even better.
Yeah.
If you're a remodeler listening to this, literally even just go in there and grab a Friday here and there this month rather. And
Hmm.
your mind starts to play as you look at that approaching of going, okay, I've got to lock in a little bit different early in the week because I am going to take that off because I did buy the ticket. Make sure your tickets to whatever that is are non-refundable to hold you to it. Now, in an ideal world, as far as just the sheer hours you're working, that example you just gave, I thought at first you were talking about 8:30 a.m. I'm like, what is she doing working from like 4 to 8:30 a.m.? Oh, no. You were talking about 8:30 p.m. Okay.
I start my day at 5 a.m. I start 5 a.m. and I work till
Mm,
8 p.m.
okay.
Yeah, so those
So,
are some long, long
so
hours.
hypothetically, if I was to say, Cassandra, I feel like now I'm pronouncing that wrong too. Should I say Cassandra? Should I say Cassandra?
I respond to both, but it is a Cassandra.
Cassandra. And I said Cassandra. See, I have a
I
Cassie on my team. So I'm already
Yep.
Cassandra. That's right when I said it, I'm like, that's not how she pronounces it. It's Cassandra.
I'll
Um,
take either.
yeah, I'll go Cassandra. If I were to say, look, you have to be done at 5:15 p.m. every day so that you can go home, so that you as a family are having some time there. You guys are doing some, consistent dinner together. You're doing that and you're just really working. What would need to change, or what are some of the responsibilities, roles, time you're investing? What would have to come off your shoulders in order for that to be feasible? If I could just kind of start with something like that. Just a quick break here to spotlight our friends at Builder Funnel, the agency that's proven over and over they know how to generate serious revenue for remodelers. And when I say revenue, I mean real numbers you can measure. 6.3 million for a remodeler in Atlanta, 1.2 million for a remodeler in Salt Lake City, even 746,000 for a deck builder in Jacksonville. And that's just a handful. The truth is, most marketing agencies talk about impressions and clicks. Builder Funnel talks about projects sold and revenue added. They've built a system that takes the guesswork out of marketing so you know your investment is working. If you're serious about growth and want your marketing to finally perform at the level your craftsmanship does, Builder Funnel is the partner you want. So if you're ready for a marketing system that actually helps grow your business, head over to builderfunnel.com/ROTR to learn more. Builderfunnel.com/ROTR.
What's really funny is at 6 o'clock, my team goes home. So we start our day at 10 and we work till, the team works till 6. So from 6 to 8, that's kind of like my sweet spot to get my quiet work done. So that would be real challenging. That
It's
would be a
also,
hard thing to
wait,
give
what
up.
time do you actually go into the office?
Um, I start at 5 a.m. at home with just like my email feed and my day set up, and that goes till 8. Then I drop kids, like a lot of people. A lot of people got a kid round in there. And then I'm back at the office at 10,
Okay. Right. So
10,
there's some
10:30.
there's some time in the morning.
Mm-hmm. I do
Um,
work out, so I do that.
Good, good.
Yep.
Right, but there's some email time in the morning. There's an hour and a half
Mm-hmm.
there. There's getting to the office. There's also while there's work going on where you're going, look, we go from 10 to 6. I've got, I assume, some designers that you're working
Mm-hmm.
alongside.
Yep.
Project manager you're working alongside.
Yep.
You guys do a lot of trade partner work where the projects that you're doing are being done by a variety of trade partners.
Yep.
So you as Cassandra, did I do it right?
You got it.
Thank you. As Cassandra, you have people that are doing various things. Would you consider yourself at all a micromanager at all?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I suck at
Totally.
letting that go for sure. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Because what I go ahead, please.
oh, I just, I see that and you see all of I actually, the whole vacation schedule thing came from, I think, a podcast that you did not last year or
Nice.
something that I saw. And I was like, that's a brilliant concept. I'm going to implement it one year and I'm doing it. I'm doing it now. But no, I definitely think I kind of micromanage. And I think that I have to be more successful at entrusting people to do more of their role independently for sure. And then maybe also just implementing this year, like a new person that would be kind of in this spot that I'm in right now, right? So
Which is what? How would you describe it?
kind of so I do lead design and I do lead project management. So if I have somebody that's doing those things, I can slide back a little bit. I think I could focus on other things.
Interesting. Tell the people if you're willing to share what type of revenue you're doing.
So we're right around that 4.5 million
Okay.
mark.
And your
Mhm.
average project would look like what?
It's so interesting. Our average project from where I started to where we are now
Sure.
is mind boggling. And it's still, I don't know if you're talking to other remodelers now and you're like, we still can't believe it. Actually, what it costs to actually renovate is the cost is so high.
Yeah.
Not just from our perspective, but like even from just the plumbing perspective on what
Yeah.
it's going to cost to get it done. But I'd say our average kitchen renovation is in the 150 mark.
Okay.
Our
And then
average bathroom 60
yeah.
and up.
And then how are you doing? Are you charging for design and project development and that side of things?
We charge nominally. So I think that we probably have one of the lowest design fees in our area. It is a $500 flat rate for design.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It's how we kind of get our projects going. We evaluate our clients. Prior to that, our clients come in for what is called a cuppa appointment, where we get a cup of coffee and
I
we
knew that's where
just
you're going with that.
talk about the project, right? So we just talk about what they want and what they're looking for and what doesn't work and what's broken or how we can fix it and how we can solve a problem, because so much of renovation is fixing and creating a solution for a problem that exists. So we've already gotten to know people with that cuppa appointment. We go to our right into our process of M3, which is meet mechanical measure, and then we charge for a flat rate design. It's been pretty successful. We've talked about, should we be charging 10% of the project cost? No, we're probably just gonna keep it pretty nominal.
You know what the
Um,
problem with keeping it nominal is?
Too many people say yes.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Yes.
right. So just
Yeah.
rewinding this a little bit. First, your revenue is fantastic, and you have 6 actual employees, including
We have
yourself.
6 employees, including
Including yourself?
myself. Hmm.
Okay. Right. So people listening to
2 part-time employees, I should say.
okay.
2 part-time employees.
Right. So and then all the trade work is
Trade work.
being done by trade partners. Right. So people that are in this industry and listening to this and they're on their journey and they're doing 3 million and they're like, boy, I'm doing 2.5 million and we got 6 people in the office. Well, you look at what you've kind of shared so far. Revenue wise is outstanding. And I know you're reinvesting in your business and you've got a nice showroom and you've bought some other property that's like home/business, which is kind of cool. Story for another day. You're making good money. But the toll and the workload and the amount of stress and strain that is on your shoulders, it's almost like, hey, your process, the cuppa thing, you just mentioned the 3 M's. Holy cow. Like we've got processes I'm hearing. You look at the work that you guys do and it's work that you're very proud of and you're doing beautiful work and you're working well with trade partners and all of that. So there's so many areas of your business where you'd be like, I'll give myself an A- on that. I'll give myself a B+ on that. I'll give yourself an A- on that. And then you work and you look at it. And I've worked with a lot of remodelers who are in this camp of going, cool, impressive, Cassandra. But what's not impressive is that so much of the growth and so much of the workload is still on your shoulders.
So much.
We have got to fix that.
Got to get a solution for that. Yes.
We have got to shift that. Instead of chuckling at it, which I'm okay with you chuckling at it, because sometimes we got to chuckle or else we're going to cry about it.
That's exactly how it is.
Like,
you either laugh or you cry.
I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I've got, even if it means I go from 4 and blah, blah, blah down to 3.2, but I do it differently or I do something differently. Maybe that is like something I need to consider. I can't be like set in my ways of like, this is how we've done it. Maybe instead of charging the 500, maybe we get crazy and charge 5,000, because guess what? Even if we do that, number one, we're building up enough value where people will probably see it. And we're going to get some no's. And as soon as we start giving ourselves some high fives of going, yes, we got some no's, that means we have less workload to do and we can devote more of that time to being excellent for these clients. Or you could say, oh, I didn't like that at all. And you can go back to what you were doing. But I would challenge you heavily with telling me what the plan would even look like for you to be done at 6 o'clock every day. Just a thought exercise of what would need to be true and what would need to happen for me to be legit done at 6 o'clock. It's so foreign to you.
Yeah. It's like, what, you're going to create wings and fly. It feels like that. That's how it feels like. I don't feel like I am any different than probably a lot of business owners, unfortunately. And you probably experience this, I would say, more than anybody with the amazing amount of coaching and things that you do too. You probably have a lot of type A people. It makes you good at your job, but it is exhausting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. If
the type.
Yes. If I personally, as a business owner, now I'm not going to say, oh, Kyle, it's different. Like I got a demanding business as well. The work-life balance I have made a tremendous priority over the years, from like, no, I'm not going to travel for this. I'm not going to travel for that. like most business owners, yeah, I like the kids are in bed, and some nights from 9 to 11, I crank it up. Some mornings I get up and hit it hard in the morning. I have a feeling that your business is way more demanding of you than my business is.
Well,
Similar.
we tear up people's homes while they live in it.
Let me pause there. So your business in what you're doing is way more demanding than 30 of our peer group members, I could say. Your remodeling specific business is much more demanding than other remodeling businesses. And my encouragement for you, and what I like a really clear next step, if this was an actual like coaching call would be, show me not the bullcrap fairy wings, bullcrap. It is absolutely possible to create a plan for it. Like you already hinted at it. Well, I would need somebody to run point as far as lead project manager, or literally when I get done with when we as a design team get done with the detailed proposal, detailed design, specifications, selections, all locked and loaded, and we do that pre-construction meeting, I am truly, truly handing it off to somebody that is the point of contact for that homeowner. Am I still involved a little bit? Sure. But if I had that person, yes, that would free up that 10% of my workload. Like that's one example of a plan that would lead towards that. And the other big thing I would say is, Cassandra, it is absolutely possible for you to be done at 5:00 p.m. and to run a successful business. Okay. It is absolutely possible. This is coming from somebody who coaches remodelers.
Right.
I don't think you want to be done at 5. I don't think you've convinced yourself it's possible / do I actually want that? But maybe the first part, you don't think it's possible right now. It absolutely is.
Right. I think that it is a lofty goal in my head, to have more time, but truthfully, like, what would I do with it? Right. I'm acclimated at this point. I'm here, but I would find, you find, it's like when people retire, there's fun things that they do that they didn't even know were out there.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Or even, or you start with more baby steps of like, I leave at 6 p.m. with the rest of my team. Literally, I've told them that I'm working towards it, but what has to be true? What has to change in order for that to be possible? Because when you say, well, Kyle, from 6 to 8 is when I finally get some quiet time. Well, do you have a door on your office? Like literally?
Yes.
Okay. So like the idea of when 4:00 rolls around, you still were collaborative with your team from 10 to 4 plus your other time. Or you pick a time from 1 to 3 or 2 to 3 or 2:30 to 4 or whatever that is, and you go into cocoon mode.
It's like scheduling, like the vacations.
Absolutely.
Like I took that seriously. It's commitment to the schedule.
Yes, it is cocoon mode. Turn your phone in do not disturb mode. Everybody on your team knows not to touch you for 90 minutes. Like you're untouchable. Like unless something's on fire, you know that this is my time that I was spending from 6 to 8 when it got quiet over here, but I'm going to be way more disciplined with my time, way more disciplined with my focus, and I'm going to lead differently so that I do not have to be there from 6 to 8. And every single person on your team would go, thank you. Are you finally going to think differently about this? We are worried that you're going to have too much stress and that you're going to fall down one day and go, I can't do this anymore. And we'd like to, before you get to that part, to adjust this, and it's absolutely doable. So I want you to think through just what is that? I demand that you follow up and also share with me what would have to happen, what would have to be true is a phrase I like to use, for that to be possible. And I bet you're going to have 4 or 5 main things and then a lot of other little things. I am so flipping sick of emails, and I have been tackling that problem, and I have way less stinking emails now because I put a focused intention on. I'm sick of that. I for years thought there's no way that revenue could be coming into my company unless I, the talented Kyle Hunt, am doing the coaching. Turns out, literally starting in 2 minutes, Peter Rainey is running a peer group with 10 of our clients, and he's doing a fantastic job. And I've got a second lieutenant in Bailey who's been with me for 6+ years, who knows, who thinks, who's grown in her role. I am incredibly confident that's going on without me. But it took me to say, do I want to do that? Why do I want to do that? and then getting over the head trash that I have that, yeah, you get my point. What are you hearing in all of that that's resonating?
Well, it's interesting. I think that like in the back of my head, like I've been thinking about those thoughts and thinking about how can I have some more balance. We've strategized our team this year. We kind of completely, flipped the responsibilities and the roles of our design team on end. So we, for a long time, designed and then project managed. So that has kind of slipped a little bit into more strategic and individual roles. So
Nice.
we have somebody who just orders cabinets now. We have somebody, we have designers that design and meet with clients. We have project management that's going to project manage. So I think hiring, like it always comes down to hiring, which is always the anxious part of the business, which is always what the business needs and always the most stressful component to it. Because if you get that project manager that is going to delight and outshine and perform and do all the things that you expect and hope and wish and pray for, just like all of my employees have been an amazing add to our team. It's still scary to hire them.
Yes.
So it's still scary as the business owner thinking like, okay, I'm going to let this component go and I'm going to trust that I've made the right choice in hiring the right person and let them fly. Right. So I mean, I've done it. I've got six employees and a couple of part-time people that, I've done it.
And you've
It's been
gone through some
successful.
people, right?
Yeah.
You've gone through some people. That's
Yeah.
business too.
Well, I mean, it's hard. That's the people component of business is always the trickiest. And unfortunately, being a new business, I think you don't always have it right, from the gate. But I think last year, this year, I think we have a good handle on where we're going, what we're doing, the direction that we need to be in. So probably getting that project management person,
Would be a huge unlock.
here would be a huge unlock for me personally with
Yeah.
my personal time and likely what the business needs. Yeah. Cassandra at provenkitchenandbathstudio.com for all applications, please.
Oh, that would be fun if this podcast led to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that,
Yeah,
just teasing / who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
What I just heard there was different than what you were joking earlier. I understand, but I think there's a little bit of truth in your joking of like, yeah, I don't know, like what, some magic fairy dust, sprinkle that on here.
Yeah.
I guess that might be possible for me to leave at 6:00. And I understand why you're saying that, but
it feels so impossible right
correct.
now.
And
it feels like we're in the weeds.
If you continue to just avoid that of like what would actually need to happen in order for this to happen, then you're going to continue to do what you're doing. We had just a quick little audio issue there, so Cassie either edited it and is leaving this part in, or what I'm hearing is somebody that instead of that magic pixie dust one of like you're grappling with it, and I'm encouraging you get really clear. I'm not saying you have to do it next week, next month, even this year, but I guarantee that if you get you're talking strategy, we have adjusted our design development and who's doing what based on some strategy. You started engaging your brilliant brain for a minute and you're like, oh no, if I actually found a project manager while you also coupled it before you got it out that it would be very life-giving to your big goal of work-life balance and that side of things. Before you said that, you also were grappling with she's on a podcast, people. I see you talking to somebody. She's on a podcast. She's on a world famous podcast, employee.
Yeah. Employee. I don't have an answer. It is my office manager.
Oh,
and
office manager. She's locked and loaded for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Leave her be. She's recording a professional podcast.
Sewer. City sewer. Yeah. We'll have to call Nick. Well, no. I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but call Nick. Thank you.
It's gonna be so nice when the project manager is there and that project related thing about the city sewer can just be handled and you don't even get asked.
Yeah,
right?
well,
but before
it's all in here.
Yeah, but before you did that, you're like, I don't know, I got the fear that most business owners have. Like, what if I hire the wrong person? What if I put them in place? Well, stop it. When you hire somebody, it's going to be I do, you watch. I do, you help. You do, I help. And then you do, and I have a life. Like it's that. Like there's a training aspect to it. You don't just Yeah, you don't just throw them to the wolves. Of course not. You're a smart business person. Heavens
Right.
forbid you're going to put somebody that you barely know, that barely knows our process in it. So, but what you're not mentioning, which is most business owners' Achilles, is like, oh, how could I afford to pay for that person? How could I do this? I would argue part of your profitability, or part of that, you need to be less profitable because you need to be paying somebody to do a couple of the jobs you're doing so that you can be profitable and have good work-life balance. And guess what? Here's what I see often is when you do that, your business actually grows and you're more profitable.
Oh, it's just a hard pill to swallow sometimes,
It
isn't
is.
it?
It's
It
tricky.
is. Mm-hmm. It
But
is.
you've experienced it
And
as you've
and it's
hired.
relinquishing some control. So
Mm.
that's a hard thing to do. It's like goes back to, do you remember the group project where you just did the group project?
Yeah, some people like you did that.
Yeah. It's just like, you know what? I'll just do it
Hmm.
and it will get done and it will be great. Right?
Yeah, and that is
Got
why
me
you were
here and unbalanced.
right. That's why you
Yes.
were
Yeah.
excellent as an employee. It's why you're building a really nice business. But you're also grappling with, especially as I grow, here's the other thing. You can absolutely have full control over things. You can absolutely have a work-life balance. The trade-off is that you're going to do that at about $1.4 million of revenue,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll probably make about $150,000 a year in compensation.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still have full control over every experience and have work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
What you can't do is have control over the majority of everything happening and be doing $4
Mm-hmm.
million of revenue and have work-life balance. Your work-life balance is what's getting screwed in that equation,
Right.
right? So I love this thought of just, geez, I didn't know I was going to swear and say words like screwed in 2026 on my, that's like a cuss word, isn't it?
I'll bet.
Pretty
Yeah.
close, pretty close.
I think
Um,
it's I think it's legal.
I think it is legal too.
Yeah.
But usually my podcasts don't have like that E for explicit. But
Oh,
maybe in 2026, maybe that will be one of my
ripping that band-aid off.
New Year's resolutions. We shall see. We shall see. I'm very excited for you. I think you're grappling with this idea. You're already thinking of work-life balance, and you picked something kind of easier towards that, of like
Mm-hmm.
vacations with the family, which is amazing, which is amazing. But our kids and our marriage and our key relationships and our hobbies or whatever else you have for work-life balance, the realness of work-life balance happens in the random Tuesday when you walk in the door at 6:10 p.m. and hang out with your
Right.
kids for 2 hours.
Right.
It happens on Thursday when you're done at 4:30, and because you're the boss, and it's okay for your team to stay till 6 because you were up at 5 a.m. So get rid of that head trash that says you have to be there till 6.
Right. Right.
And you and your husband leave at 4:30, and you just go shopping around downtown Ann Arbor, and you have a nice dinner, and then you're still home at 7:30. Like,
Right.
that's where work-life balance really happens. It happens where, you, heaven forbid, it's November, it's a little snowy day and this and that, and we get takeouts, and you get a Kindle out and you read a book because you feel like you have control to do that. So
Right.
you need to get more
Little
clear,
things.
yeah, with what work-life balance looks like. You need to also just set boundaries. Like, if your business will take every minute that you give it, and if you say, I'm done with that and I'm done at 6 p.m., you're going to have to change team structure, what you're sticking your nose in, and all of that. And I want you to seriously play with what that would take and what that would look like, because I think the clearer you are with it, the more confident you will be in what it would take. And that clarity and confidence, you're going to make those changes. And I have a feeling that sooner rather than later, you're going to have some breathing room and good balance.
I agree. I can make a commitment to it. I think those are good
Yes.
strategies.
SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic,
Yeah.
time bound.
Yeah.
When, ma'am, will you send me Kyle? We were on that podcast, and you asked for a plan of what you can color it however you want. Good work-life balance, or done at 6 p.m. every day for real. And here's what I think is the equation, that the things that would need to happen in order for that to happen. It is currently January 20th at 12:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. SMART goal. When are you going to have that sent to me?
Mm, about February 20th.
Mm,
It's like 1
mm,
month
it
of
feels
really deep thought,
no. I don't
not
think.
rushed.
I don't think. I don't like that answer. It's too far out.
Oh, dang.
Okay, but nice try. So
Uh-huh.
Coach Kyle has got. I'm going to sweeten my offer though too. What
Okay.
is your and your husband's favorite restaurant, either in Dexter or Ann Arbor or wherever? Tell me
Hmm.
one of your
That one
favorite.
is a challenge as we don't really get out much.
What?
Remember?
Okay, done. All right. My birthday's on February 9th.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your
Yeah.
deadline for this. And if
Okay.
I see good effort in a document, again, I think you'd only need to spend a couple hours on this. You're going to be thinking about it a little bit and you're going to put a first draft together. It's only a couple hours of work. This is not 10 hours of deep, super tight thinking. You get that to me before February 9th, and you will be receiving a gift card to Sava's in
Ooh,
downtown Ann Arbor, which is my wife and I's favorite Ann Arbor restaurant.
it's
And you will be
great.
receiving that as a reward
Vegetarian.
because,
I love that one.
oh, yeah, there's vegetarian stuff. There's all kinds of good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You will be receiving that as a reward. Now, if you send it on
Sounds good.
February 10th, I'll still take it, but you ain't getting a gift card.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I like a prize. That type A personality likes the
yes,
reward button. So,
yes, push that button.
yeah.
So you know what that is. I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah.
By you being open and honest and transparent, this conversation has helped a bunch of people that have been listening to this recording. So thank you for that. And we're excited for the year ahead for you. And it was also just nice catching up.
It was good to catch up with you too.
And
Appreciate it.
your summary was young Kyle working at Long's was just always like spreadsheets, numbers, job costing.
No. Be your best. Do your best. Spreadsheets,
Ooh,
numbers, job costing.
okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I had
I
a
like
good
that.
takeaway.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Did I have hair? And tell the people, did I have hair back then?
You had hair. You had
Wasn't great.
hair.
Still wasn't great hair.
It was
but
short, but it was there.
yes, cool. That
Otherwise,
was
you look just the same.
pretty much. Although the glasses are new as of the last 6-7 years because I can't.
That's the worst. Mine are on my desk.
Yeah. Are you
Too much
getting
screen
to
time.
Are you getting to the part where you kind of go like this a little bit when you hold things up and you have to move your head back?
Sadly.
Yeah, it's all right.
Sadly. Project manager won't fix that though, Kyle. I can't put that on my February deadline.
That's okay. I'm not saying all of your problems are going to solve itself. You still are getting older day by day. We are still going to have to deal with that. But I will say, to couple with that, it's like, do that. I was going to say dude, but do that. Like you can continue doing what you're doing for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be fine. You'll be fine you'll enjoy your work and whatnot. But I think you will regret not trying to get a better handle on it in the years ahead.
Yeah.
And then we've been around life enough that we know that we are not promised anything tomorrow or next week or next month.
True.
And we
Life is
know
short.
that stress and anxiety and worry and stress and all that does not help our overall health. So as business owners, we have to take stock of our stress. We have to take stock of our workload and recognize, okay, I might need to make some adjustments. Also, 30-year-old Kyle doesn't get as much done as 42-year-old Kyle. So there's also a little bit of like, I got to give myself a break and do less work because I'm not as crazy as I used to be. And it's probably similar. It's probably similar for you too, right? So
I've added a lot of caffeination.
Ah, yes. Is that a fancy Starbucks order? Do you go like?
No special. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
All right, tell us your order. We'll judge it.
Okay, venti americano, sugar-free, vanilla, protein cold foam, sugar-free, light almond splash.
It's
kind of fancy.
Before you opened your mouth and shared that, you had the thought that wasn't fancy?
It's, you should hear my 16-year-old's order.
You couldn't even say it in one breath. It was so long.
No.
If you said, Kyle, I'll give you $1 million if you repeat back 20% of what you just heard, I'll be like, I don't know, venti americano, foam, vanilla.
Yeah, I guess it's a tall order. Tall order.
And maybe that's part of your problem is that if you think that that's simple,
and the rest of my life is
complexity
this
of remodeling.
complex. Yeah.
Yes. But that
Yeah.
also tells me how brilliant you are in the ability to get all that done and think, oh, that's simple. That's simple. Thank you, my friend. That was fun.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Later. Thanks for watching the Remodelers on the Rise podcast. If this episode was helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. That helps more remodelers find these conversations. You'll find links below to connect with us, to join our remodelers community and explore more resources or our coaching options. If you don't want to miss future episodes, turn on notifications so you know when new videos are live. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you being here. We'll talk to you again soon.